Alright, what's going on? So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can complete the real estate closing process from start to finish. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an investor, I got you covered. Now, if you're like most people, you probably have no idea what's actually going on in the real estate closing process. Well, I will be breaking it down to you step by step, so that way you walk into the room without any surprises. Now you'll know exactly what to expect and how to prepare, so that way everything will be going as smoothly as possible. First, now let's start off with what is a real estate closing. A real estate closing is the final step in the home buying process where all parties provide legal documentation related to the purchase of the property and make sure that they finalize and have everything signed. Now this typically involves the title company to perform a title search to ensure that there are no outstanding liens or claims on the property, and also the loan underwriting to confirm that there's criteria that the lender is meeting or the borrower is meeting to fund that mortgage, and also various other forms of disclosures and requirements by state law. Now during this process, you'll also need to make your final payment to cover the costs for the home, including closing costs such as inspections, also your real estate fees. Now, while this whole process could be intimidating, it's actually great if you could find a really good real estate agent that can guide you along the way step by step to make sure that this closing process can help you become a lot aware and then make the process a lot more easier for you to go through. Now, the role of a buyer's agent during the closing process is to help the buyer understand each of the steps that's required and also provide the correct documentation to be signed. The real estate agent also needs to be present during the closing and answer any questions that the buyer may have. Now, in most cases, the real estate agent may actually be able to negotiate with the sellers on your behalf. That way you'll be able to get a better purchase price or better terms. Ultimately, the real estate agent's main goal is to help you ensure that you have a good home buying process that goes smoothly and efficiently as possible. Now, to learn more about documents and what you need to sign as a buyer, click on the video here and it'll teach you more about what you need to know. Next, let's go with the role of the seller's agent. Now, on the other side, the seller's agent, while most of the listing agent's responsibility is handled prior to closing, the closing process is to help the seller better understand each of the steps that's required and what documents they need to be signed. The real estate agent will be present during closing to answer any questions that the seller may have. Now, to learn more about what the sellers needs to sign and prepare for when they sell their home, click on this video right here. Now, in most cases, a real estate agent may be able to negotiate with the buyers on your behalf, so that way you're able to get a better purchase price or better terms. Now, on the selling aspect of this, the goal is to help to ensure that the home is getting sold. Okay, now the role of the title company. The title company is really responsible for handling all legal requirements and paperwork that's involved with the real estate closing. This will include performing title searches, identifying and understanding liens and claims of the property, and also preparing a review of the documents that's required and facilitating communication between all parties during the transaction. The title company may also be responsible for collecting closing costs from the buyer and the seller, depending on your state's real estate law. Overall, the main goal is to help ensure that the transactions are completed accurately and efficiently. The role of the lender. Now, the lender plays an important role in the real estate closing process because they're responsible for the underwriting of the mortgage and providing the funds to the buyer. Now, this typically involves the reviewing of the buyer's financial information such as income, credit history, determining if they're eligible for the loan. The lender will also work with the title company during this closing process to ensure that all necessary documentation have been completed and are accurately provided in a timely manner. Ultimately, the goal goal of this whole thing is to facilitate a smooth transaction while minimizing any risk for both the buyer and the seller. To learn more about what questions you need to ask to interview your lender, click on this video here. I guarantee you it will save your ass. Also, I have a list of lenders below, so go ahead and check them out. What happens at the closing table? At the closing table, all legal documentation that are related to the real estate transaction are finalized and signed. This includes the purchase agreement, loan documentation, title paperwork, various other disclosures, requirements by state law. The buyer will also make their final payment to cover their closing costs at that time. Once all paperwork has been signed and finalized, payments will be made, deals will officially be closed. While this is an intimidating process, having a good real estate agent who can guide you along the way, step by step during this closing process will be very, very valuable. I cannot say this enough. If you have any questions about a real estate agent, just reach out to them. Final payment. The buyer will make their final payment to cover all of the costs that's included with the home at the closing table. This will ensure that the breakdown of the payments are due, as well as maintaining a balance of the loan. Once this payment has been made, the deal is officially closed. Conclusion. The real estate closing process can be a daunting and a headache, especially if you don't know what you're doing. That's why it's really good to have a qualified real estate agent to make sure that the process goes by smoothly. Now, if you like this video, click on this video here to learn more about how to invest in real estate. But I gotta go to my next deal. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.